the story of Mike and Kate as they navigate the unique experiment designed by Dr. Voyan. Dr. Voyan, a mysterious figure, has set up a peculiar experiment. Couples have the chance to win a whopping $5 million if they can endure 50 days inside an extremely clean room. The catch is, if one person decides to leave, the prize drops significantly to just $1 million. The experiment is isolated from the outside world, providing no external entertainment, only the company of the couple themselves. So at a twist, they can use a portion of their prize money to purchase treats. In this scenario, Mike and Kate are the latest participants. Mike sees this opportunity as a stroke of luck, considering it an easy way to make money. On the other hand, Kate views it as a second chance they both deserve. However, she proposes a practical idea of splitting the money to make things simpler. Kate plans to invest the money, a prospect that Mike finds exciting. His vision of the future involves partying and enjoying life without financial concerns. As the AI voice reminds them of the rules, they explore their pristine surroundings. The room is immaculate, with everything in white, containing only a bed, a bench, a bathroom, a red button for exiting, a touch screen for treats, and a countdown clock indicating the time left in the experiment. Their meals are designed to meet their nutritional needs, but they consist of flavorless white shakes in white cartons. The room is equipped with automatic lights that change to signal different times of the day, and a touch screen helps them set an alarm. While Mike plans to treat this experiment as a vacation, intending to sleep in, Kate seeks a sense of routine and sets an early alarm. Their first night in the room reveals another aspect of their personalities. Mike tries to be intimate with Kate, though she's concerned about potential surveillance. They end up being discreet about it. In the morning, Kate looks in the mirror, reciting affirmations to maintain a positive mindset. After showering, they exchange their clothes for plain pajamas, provided in exchange through a chute in the bathroom. To stave off boredom, Kate ponders the reasons behind Voyan's experiment, while Mike shares information about a documentary on Voyan's previous experiment, which ended tragically for a blue-collar family. Although Voyan's motivations remain unknown, it's evident that he has considerable wealth and an interest in placing people in unique circumstances to explore the human condition. Entertainment becomes a challenge as they struggle to occupy themselves. Kate meditates while Mike fixates on the clock and indulges in philosophical musings, including analyzing the meaning of the color white and contemplating the correct way to brush their teeth. Despite Kate's efforts to keep their spirits up, Mike finds it hard to stay positive, especially when he struggles to sleep. As the days pass, Kate maintains her routine of affirmations and bed making. She encourages Mike to stay focused on the prize. In contrast, Mike attempts to stay active by running and engages in various activities with Kate, including hand-clapping games, Marco Polo, and dancing. Their dirty pajamas are consistently replaced with identical ones. Weeks into the experiment, a surprising event occurs. Mike discovers a bug inside the room. Concerned for its well-being, he tries to feed it, only to be reminded by the AI voice that food is strictly for the contestants. Worried about the bug's survival, Mike requests a way to let it out, vowing not to leave himself. Kate explains that the AI speaker appears to be one way, and Mike decides to take matters into his own hands by pushing the button to open the door, all while promising to stay inside. The disagreement between Kate and Mike begins because Kate is convinced that pressing a certain button will lead to their loss, even if Mike doesn't actually leave and just extends his hand to deal with a bug. This seemingly trivial incident escalates when Mike, after dealing with a bug, insists that it's a living being. Kate, who isn't vegan like Mike, accuses him of being condescending. The argument intensifies, and Kate eventually reveals her belief that Mike adopted a vegan lifestyle just to irritate his well-off father. As the argument becomes more heated, Kate admits that she thinks Mike had a privileged upbringing, thanks to his father providing everything he needed. Kate attempts to walk away from the conversation, but inadvertently steps on the bug. Mike finds it hard to believe her claim that it was an accident, leading to more tension between them. Mike spends the rest of his day in a gloomy state, contemplating the situation. He realizes that doing nothing is detrimental to his well-being. Wanting to take control, he decides to use both treats allotted to them. Despite Kate's disapproval, Mike plans to deduct a significant amount from their prize money. Kate, however, acknowledges that Mike doesn't need her permission. Mike's choice of treat is a single green crayon, which may seem insignificant, but it allows him to engage in his artistic expression on the walls. Kate, after observing Mike's drawings for a while, asks him to sketch her. However, Mike refuses to create realistic portraits, deeming them boring. This decision disappoints Kate, and she loses interest in being a model for him. Mike continues drawing until the crayon is depleted, leaving green stains on the bathroom and a towel on the floor. This incident triggers frustration in Kate. Later on, Kate realizes the need to apologize for her behavior, admitting that the situation is more challenging than she initially thought. With only 20 days remaining, boredom persists in their confined environment. One morning, Kate discovers a gun in the bathroom, creating fear and uncertainty. Rather than checking if it's loaded, they decide to hide it under the bed, as the AI governing their environment prohibits placing non-clothing items inside the laundry chute. Eventually, they receive Connect Time, an opportunity to receive messages from loved ones. Mike's sister updates him on their family, but she mistakenly believes he is no longer in a relationship with Kate. Kate, on the other hand, experiences distress when her father's video reveals he is in a homeless shelter. Unable to stop the video, she hides behind the bathroom entrance and cries. Mike provides comfort and support during this emotional moment. The revelation about Kate's father causes her to fall into a depressed state, leading her to stay in bed all day. When Mike expresses concern, Kate discloses that she hadn't seen her father in years and had lied to Mike about his identity due to shame regarding his struggles with alcoholism and its impact on their family. Despite the limited time remaining, Kate remains in bed, while Mike tries various activities to entertain himself, such as modifying his drawings and experimenting with emotions while reading labels. Attempts to make Kate eat through humor prove futile, and Mike even resorts to sleeping on the floor to break the monotony. One morning, Mike urges Kate to take a treat, but she refuses, fearing the loss of money. Growing increasingly frustrated, Mike contemplates his ability to endure the situation. Surprisingly, this inspires Kate to leave her bed. Before taking a shower, she encourages Mike to use his second treat, even if it means sacrificing $250,000. Kate is annoyed by their attempts at manners, but she decides they can all share the bed as long as she sleeps in the middle. That night, Kate has trouble sleeping. In the morning, Simone isn't on the bed, and Kate thinks she's gone, but she's actually in the bathroom. Unable to endure it any longer, Kate decides to take a treat. She receives a little box with 3 fun candies. Kate immediately takes one and offers one to Simone. Mike hesitates but eventually accepts one too. The 3 of them start dancing and flailing around the room, sharing a few group kisses. However, Mike begins having a bad trip, seeing blood everywhere and dreaming he's underwater with his younger brother falling. The women bring Mike back to reality, but he's still panicking and mentions something about Sean and drowning. Kate has to drag him back to bed and comfort him until he falls asleep. Afterward, Simone asks Kate about Mike's earlier ramblings. Kate reveals that Mike's little brother Sean drowned in the family's pool while Mike was supposed to babysit him. Mike had been high when it happened, adding to the guilt he still feels today. Explaining his hesitation to accept the candy, Simone also asks how they met. Kate fondly remembers how, on a rainy day, she had no umbrella, and Mike came to her, offering to catch all the raindrops so she wouldn't get wet. When Mike wakes up, Simone shares that she lost her mother when she was a kid, and they bond over grief and lost loved ones. Simone takes Mike's hand to comfort him, and when Kate sees them, she freaks out, thinking Simone wants to steal her boyfriend. Simone points out Kate's insecurities, starting an argument. Mike yells at them to stop before walking away. Kate tries to apologize, admitting it was probably nothing she saw, but Simone adds fuel to the fire, suggesting maybe it wasn't. The next morning, Mike isn't feeling well, but Kate is focused on other things. Simone is gone, but there's a message from her on the wall in green crayon thanking Mike for a wild night. Kate freaks out, not listening to Mike when he explains he didn't do anything. And this is like the gun, something the room is doing to mess with him. In her anger, Kate pushes Mike to the floor, making him hurt his head and bleed. Mike steps away, reminding her that he's never cheated on her. He stopped seeing his rich friends, didn't finish college, and cared for her when she was depressed. Yet, all he gets in return is jealousy. Crying, Kate continues to apologize, but their conversation is interrupted when Mike starts feeling dizzy from the wound. He thinks he needs a doctor, but Kate brings him a meal shake to put sugar in his system and covers his wound with a towel, reminding Mike that the contract said they don't have allowance for medical intervention. Mike is shocked and wonders if Kate really cares. His wound turns out to be small, but he's scared of how far she would have gone if it had been worse. Hating what the place has done to them and realizing money won't fix how broken they are, Mike decides to leave, inviting Kate to do the same. Kate refuses, pointing out it's easy for him to talk like this because he's always had money. She retrieves the gun to threaten him into staying, but Mike ignores her and presses the button, leaving the room a few days before victory. After lots of laying around and freaking out in the shower, Kate sees the raindrop drying on the wall, inspiring her to approach the button too and consider her options with only 2 days left. Many months later, a now single Mike is going for a run when he sees Kate coming out of a building. They haven't seen each other since the room and decide to go for a walk to chat and catch up. When Mike asks Kate if she left the room or won, she dodges the question. At least, though, she offers an apology for what happened. As they walk away, the building is revealed to be the homeless shelter, which has a plaque saying an anonymous donation allowed them to build the new kitchen. Meanwhile, in the Immaculate Room, a new couple arrives to take the challenge.